What action has been taken against students who are harassing and calling for the genocide of Jews on Harvard's campus?
I can assure you we have robust
What actions have been taken? I'm not asking.
Actions underway.
I'm asking what actions have been taken against those students.
Given students' rights to privacy and our obligations under FERPA, I will not say more about any specific cases other than to reiterate that processes are ongoing.
And you keep referring to these policies, these new procedures. We haven't seen that. We're not even allowed to have access to it. And we have absolutely no reason to trust you because you haven't behaved in a manner that's trustworthy. You can't even, as we sit here, tell me that people who intentionally, knowingly, deliberately violated the civil rights of American citizens, that they were fired or that they had their security clearance stripped.
All involve conduct that occurred before the reforms that we put in place.
Before the reforms you put in place, reforms, the text of which we don't even have access to.
Harvard President Claudine Gay has processes in place. She just has no intention to use them against pro-terrorist campus agitators. FBI Director Christopher Wray has reforms in place. He just can't tell anyone what they are and has no intention to use them against pro-martial law G-men. It was useful to have Gay and Wray testify on Capitol Hill on the same day. The juxtaposition elicited how interchangeable are America's managerial elites. Gay and Wray could switch jobs tomorrow and no one at Harvard or the FBI would notice. Don't let their intersectional scores fool you. The black female Democrat and the white male Republican are two sides of the same coin and two members of the same club. What Chapman University academic Joel Kotkin calls the clerisy. The clerisy is the collection of academics, scientists, heads of NGOs and charitable foundations, rent-seeking CEOs and corporate lawyers, and their job, as they see it, is to regulate the masses, both ideologically and legally. This is what they've been trained to do from boarding school to the Ivy League to their stops in other status-laden sinecures. Claudine Gay was sent off to boarding school at Exeter. Then it was on to Stanford and Harvard for her degrees, then back to Stanford where she obtained tenure, and then back to Harvard to make history as the first black president. Chris Wray boarded at Andover. Then it was on to Yale and Yale Law School, clerking for an appellate court judge, over to DOJ, from there to a white shoe law firm to cash out, and then to the FBI to power up. All of that top-flight book learning, yet Gay and Wray can muster nary an original thought, nor present an instance of discernible character. They are bounded by the vacuous HR patois they offer to members of Congress. Despite her protestations to the contrary, Gay presides over the university with the weakest commitment to free expression in the country. She is under a credible accusation of having repeatedly plagiarized the work of others, including for her PhD dissertation. She has spent her time as an administrator from Harvard dutifully reciting the approved positions on Black Lives Matter, police-involved shootings, and COVID mandates. Despite his protestations to the contrary, Wray presides over a politicized, bigoted FBI that targeted traditional Catholics based on their preference for the Latin Mass, while ignoring nearly 100 instances of domestic terrorism, like the firebombing of Catholic churches and pregnancy care centers after the Dobbs decision. During his congressional testimony, Wray explained, despite knowing Hunter Biden's laptop was authentic, he allowed the fraudulent claims that it was part of a Russian misinformation campaign to go unchallenged because it was election season. Of course. The run-up to an election is a terribly inconvenient time to burden the American electorate with the truth. The good news for Gay and Wray is their jobs are predicated on adherence, not performance. In the grand scheme, they're inconsequential. They're cogs. They will be replaced in due course. Their only charge is to preserve the present institutional zeitgeist during their tenure to make the transition seamless for their replacements. And so here comes the clericy's cavalry. 700 Harvard faculty members and 800 Black Harvard alumni signed a petition in support of Claudine Gay. A majority of the House approved $375 million as a downstroke on a new FBI headquarters in Maryland, projected to cost $3.5 billion. Additionally, in reaction to the FBI's documented abuses in the form of illegal spying on Americans, a bill to reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act that would actually give the FBI more surveillance power is circulating in the House. Membership in the clerisy has its privileges. I'm Dan Proft with the Counterculture Commentary. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And please leave a comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts.